Started, and probably telling you that we're recording right now. I'm not recording you. I am recording me. But if you unmuted yourself, your voice would be recorded. Okay, welcome. So we're here to work with the breath. We are here to connect with our prana, to work with the breath, and to do this practice of different pranayama exercises, different breathwork exercises that will really help you to feel rejuvenated, help you feel open. It really just goes through like everything we can do with the breath. I really love this set, and you should feel really both very energized and also very relaxed. And that's usually what we're looking for from our practice, is we're looking for that sense of ease, that sense of peace, that sense of relaxation, but we like to pair it with the sense of energy and vitality, right? That's really what we're looking for out of our practice, is that state that we sometimes call shunya, this state of being alive and awake and present, but calm and grounded. So I've been watching over the last decade as breathwork has become like such a thing. And it cracks me up because I've been doing Kundalini for about 10 years now. And I've just seen how all the little parts of Kundalini just like pop off on their own. It's like, probably 7 or 8 years ago, it was like golden milk. Golden milk all of a sudden became everywhere you went, you could get a golden latte, which is, something that we really prize in Kundalini. And now I'm really seeing how breath work is really taken over, and people are realizing that the breath can really change your mood almost immediately. 3 minutes, you do a breath exercise for maybe even just a minute, and you're going to feel very different than when you started. And I was given the name Pavan, which means wind or breath, and Jeet, which means victory. So I kind of avoided the breath work, to be honest with you, for a good amount of time, because the breath work to me was very challenging. It felt like intense in my nervous system. I felt like I ended up feeling emotions and feelings that maybe I wasn't completely ready for. And then when I found this practice, there's a practice called 1 minute breath that I do, and I do it every day. Once I found this practice of 1 minute breath, and I started to work with the breath in that way, right? There's a lot of breath work practices out there right now where you're like on your back going, doing all this like really intense breath work stuff, which is really cool, but it can be very intimidating, and it's not really something necessary for us to do every day. But when I found this practice of 1 minute breath, which is a practice that's there's like 5 practices within the Kundalini lineage that are highly recommended for this time. And this is one of them, 1 minute breath. When I started to do it, and I started to do it every day, I was like, oh, wow. Like life can be way different than I've been living it. It was like one of those things where I was like, is everyone else living this way? And I've just been like an anxious, mess this whole time. And nobody told me that we could just like be chill. Like, I didn't know this was an option. I didn't know it was an option to walk through life with such ease. I didn't realize it was an option to walk through life with such presence. I didn't realize it was an option to not freak out all the time, not have little things just stress me out. And so when I discovered that, I've just been obsessed with sharing it ever since, because I really feel like these practices that come from Kundalini, they both build our vitality, but we don't have to have that kind of intense, people think of Kundalini as like very intense sometimes, that these practices are very intense, but we don't have to do that. There's lots of practices within this. And some of these practices, what they do is they just very simply and very easily, and especially if you do them over time, regulate our nervous system, develop the prana in the body. So we have a resource, we feel this resource of vitality within us. And today what we're going to do is a set, and I'll kind of break it down. And what I'd love for you to do as you go through this practice is to see what each of these practices do? How do you feel after each of these practices? We'll do something. Well, there's usually a posture, and then there's a breath exercise that goes with it. And then I'll give you time to just sit and feel. And this opportunity to just experience what you're feeling is very important. It helps to actually integrate whatever the experience is. And it starts to let you start to realize, oh, if I change my breath in a certain way, I can feel different. Because that's what's already happening. What's already happening is you get anxious, you see a text or an email or something, and I go, the breath gets really shallow up here, the navel kind of locks in, or there's a certain way that you start to breathe. And then what happens is you have a whole autonomic response to the way that you're breathing. And then you start to create the way that you feel. You go, oh my gosh. And you give into the stress. You give more into the stress. You give the way that you breathe, you start to breathe changes the way that you feel even more. And then it's a cycle. And then you start to feel that way, and then you get more stress. And it's this kind of ongoing cycle. So what we can do is when we start to bring consciousness to the breath, when we start to just sit and go, okay, wait, how do I feel now? Okay, when I breathe like this, what happens? When I breathe like that, what happens? When I breathe through my nose, what happens? When I breathe through my mouth, what happens? When we empower ourselves with the experience of the breath and really knowing the breath, we have a remote control to our own experience. We can say, hey, you know what? I think I need a little bit more energy right now. I'm feeling really sluggish, and I'm feeling like totally exhausted, and I just got to get through this next thing for the next 15 minutes, for another 30 minutes. What can I do to kind of build up my energy again? And it's as simple as changing the breath, right? I'm feeling really anxious. What can I do? How can I calm myself down? I'm about to have a panic attack right now. What can I do to kind of calm myself down? I'm starting a course on Monday nights called Breathe. It's in 2 weeks. It starts in 2 weeks. And we'll really go over that in detail. Everything I'm going to give you now is pretty much all the practices we do, are all the different elements, I should say, of the breath are involved in the practice we're going to do. But what we'll do in the 6 weeks course is really break down all of these elements. Okay, what happens when you breathe this way? What's the impact? What happens when you breathe this way? How do you feel now? And then we'll incorporate it. We'll learn ways to not just have this information, but really embody the breath so that you are empowered in your life to use these tools to self-regulate, to increase your energy, to help yourself go to sleep. Whatever it is you need, you'll have lots of tools and embodied tools that you've experienced, so that you can go to those whenever you need them. So basically today what we'll do is we'll do just a little bit of warm-ups. The pranayama set that we're going to do is basically all sitting. So I would just want to kind of move your legs around and move your hips around a little bit before we just sit still for a little while, because it's always good to just stretch out a little bit. So we'll do that. We'll go into this pranayama set. We'll finish in about an hour. So at about 6:30 my time will be an hour. And then afterwards, there's time for us to talk. If you have any questions about pranayama, if you have any questions about your experience, if you have any questions about the course that'll be coming up in 2 weeks, and the curriculum and what's involved with that, we'll have time for that as well. Okay. So what we'll do now is we'll jump into the practice and get started. As you start to settle in, just start to close your eyes, find a comfortable seat. Find a nice tall seat. And just notice your baseline. What is the baseline that you're at right now? Not judging it or saying it should be different, but just really witnessing, okay, what am I feeling in this moment? We'll bring the hands together in prayer pose. Fingers point up toward the ceiling, elbows come out to the side. Lift the heart up, relax the shoulders down. We'll tune in with the opening mantras Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. Take a deep breath in to tune in 3 times. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Good. Take a nice, deep, full breath in. At the top of your breath, find even more breath. Sip a little bit more breath in through the nose. Feel a little bit of pressure between the palms, but keep the shoulders relaxed. And then just hold the breath in. One of our most simple ways to create clarity and concentration is holding the breath. Through the nose, exhale. Let's do that one more time. Big, deep breath in. Hold the breath in, press the palms together, and just hold. Pause. Find stillness. Good. Exhale, release. Go ahead and let the hands drop down onto the knees. If you're sitting on a cushion for this first exercise, you can kind of put it behind you and sit down flat on the ground. We'll just start to move with Sufi grind. So making circles with the torso on the hips, really getting into those hips. Because again, we're going to be sitting for a good amount of time. We'll be doing a bunch of stuff in the upper body to help open up the lungs. But we're going to start by opening up the hips so that you have a nice solid foundation for our pranayama series. So there really is no yoga where we're not working with the breath. So even in this, start to build the breath by inhaling deeply, maybe finding how the breath wants to coordinate with this movement. Maybe it's every time you come forward as your inhale, and maybe every time you come back as your exhale. Good. Next time you come forward, start to go the other direction with your Sufi grind, with your circles. Good. Inhaling yourself to center, sitting up nice and tall, feeling the spine grow tall. Exhale, release. Good. Extend your right leg straight out in front of you. Have your left knee bent, and you can have the bottom of the right foot just pressing against the thigh of the right foot, the left foot pressing against the right foot. Flex the toes in towards your face. Reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, come forward. Grab somewhere on that right leg where you can still keep your spine straight without rounding down. Then use your hands, kind of pull yourself deeper into this stretch. Nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Every inhale, feel your spine grow a little bit taller. Every exhale, feel yourself sink a little bit deeper into this stretch. This stretch. Good. Breath in. Into the stretch. Exhale, relax forward. Allow yourself to round forward. Inhale, sort of stack yourself back up, sitting up tall. And we'll go over the other side. So now, left leg comes long. Bottom of the right foot presses against the thigh. The heels in towards the groin. The left toes flex in towards the face. Inhale, reach up nice and tall. Exhale, come forward, grab onto that left leg, find a good grip. Find a nice stretch in the left side as you pull yourself down. Start to open your smelling spine. Exhale, sinking into the inhale deeply into this stretch. Exhale, round forward. Drop the head down. Drop the shoulder down. And on your next inhale, start to wind back up. Bring the bottoms of the feet together. Have the knees out to the side. Start to bounce the knees up and down. So bottoms of the feet are touching. Your feet in a butterfly position. You're just going to bounce those knees up. Good. Inhale the spine up nice and tall. Pull the knees down. Lift the chest. Exhale, release. Go ahead and come into a comfortable seated position. Got a cushion or a pillow. Go ahead and sit on top of that so you can sit up nice and tall. Again, we will be doing this pranayama set sitting. You can do it sitting on the floor. That's ideal to not be leaning on something, not have your back leaning on something. Some of these exercises are relaxing. Some of them we're going to be moving our arms around, so you're going to have the space to move around. But what's amazing about these pranayama exercises, you can also do them, sitting in a chair or sitting in bed or something like that. You can be just pretty much anywhere sitting for this set. All right, we're going to start by reminding ourselves who we are. The way we're going to do that is by getting into our heart center and opening up the heart center. We're going to do that multiple ways. One is through the arm position, and the other thing is through our breath. We're going to start with the most quintessential Kundalini breath exercise, breath of fire. So breath of fire is a rapid breath in and out through the nose. I recommend starting, if you're new to it, by sticking your tongue out and panting. When you pant like a dog, you'll see your navel just starts to move along with the breath. Once you find that movement in the navel, you can close the mouth and start to bring it in and out through the nose. It's an even breath in and out through the nose. So the arms are going to come out to the side. Arms reach out to the side, palms are going to face up, and you try to get those arms straight out and really reach the fingers nice and wide. Once you find those arms nice and wide, you can close your eyes and start to do breath of fire in and out through the nose. This is getting into the heart multiple ways. We're moving the navel. That's moving the diaphragm, which is moving the breath in and out of the lungs. The lungs are so intimately connected to the heart. They're wrapped right around the heart. So your heart is getting a sweet little massage with each one of these little pumps. The arm position is starting to reach into these heart meridians. You can tap into your heart and also tap into your purpose. Listen carefully. You're going to flip your palms and then extend your fingers up towards the ceiling as you inhale. Big breath in. Reach through the palms. Really feel that stretch in the forearms. Reach the arms to the side. Hold the breath in. Exhale. Relax the hands down onto the knees, onto the thighs. Just sit and notice if you feel any different from that first part, that first exercise. Bring the fingers into Surya Mudra. Both hands come into Surya Mudra. That is the ring finger, the sun finger, coming and touching the tip of the thumb. So ring finger and thumb tip touch. The rest of the fingers are straight. The index finger and middle finger are right next to each other. And we're going to hold this up like a goalpost so that the elbows are the same height as the shoulders. And then you got a 90-degree angle in both of the elbows. Really lift your heart here, pull the shoulder blades down the back, close the eyes, and segment your breath into 4 parts. So it's a 4-part inhale and a 4-part exhale. 4 sniffs in through the nose, 4 sniffs out. Really feeling and noticing how the breath goes from the end of the nose up to the brow point, the third eye center. And then you sniff another breath that goes from the end of the nose up to the brow point, end of the nose up to the brow point, end of the nose up to the brow point on your inhales. 4 sniffs in, 4 sniffs out. Really use your belly to move the breath. Good. As you inhale, bring the hands together into prayer pose. Take one deep breath in, hold the breath in, and feel the pressure between your light pressure between the palms, and lift the pelvic floor, activating Mola Bandha as you hold the breath in. Exhale, relax the hands down. And again, just sit and notice what's different now. What feels different after that segmented breathing. Good. Now we're going to interlace the fingers. We're going to start to open up the upper parts of the lungs in these next few exercises, and also open up the energetic field around us. So you're going to interlace your fingers and get your palms facing away from you. Straighten your elbows out so the arms are straight out in front of you. You're going to inhale, bring these arms straight up overhead. Exhale, come parallel to the ground again. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Nice, strong breath with this movement. Deep inhales to help lift those arms up. Exhaling just down to parallel. Good, nice deep breaths. Part of what the yoga teaches us is how to move life force in our body. We bring the life force in through the breath, and then we open up the channels through the movement. We open up the energy around us. We open up the blocks in the shoulders and the arms and the heart by immediately channeling the breath into the movement. Good, you got it. Keep going. Good, last 10 seconds. Inhale the arms up one more time. Reach the arms up. Release the interlace of the hands and exhale. Sweep the arms down to the sides. Hands come and touch the earth, the floor next to the sides of you. Good. All right, if you need to adjust your seat, find a different seat. If you need to stretch your legs or readjust, go ahead and find that. All right, our arms are going to come out to the sides again. The fingers are going to be pointing to the walls, and the fingers will be pointing up to the ceiling, and the hands will be facing towards the walls. This is your exhale position. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Let the tops, the backs of the hands touch as you inhale lightly. Exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. So again, inhaling the arms up overhead. This time exhaling, bringing them parallel out to the sides. That bend in the wrist, especially when you come down. There's a movement in the wrist that's happening in this exercise. But we are rebuilding your pranic body, bringing in more life force. Chances are some stress, some anxiety pulled from your life force, and we are bringing it back. We are rebuilding your energetic field. 10 more seconds. Good. Inhale up one more time. Reach up. Exhale, sweep the arms down to the side again. Let the hands come to the earth. And then sit and relax. Just sit and relax. And notice any shift, any sensations. And we'll bring the hands into Gyan Mudra. Tip of the index finger and thumb touch. The rest of the fingers are straight and the fingers are together. Bring those arms up to a goal post again. Really pull the shoulder blades down the back, lift the heart, bring the chin in like you're trying to make double chins. Inhale left, exhale to the right. Inhale, twist to the left, exhale, twist to the right. Twisting the torso with the breath. Trying to hold those arms in this shape as you continue to move side to side.
Govinda, 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 Govinda. 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 Protect me with thine own hand.
This is so detoxifying for the lungs. Nice deep breaths to really clear out those parts of the lungs that don't get moved in this way. Good. Inhale the center, hold the arm position, sit up nice and tall, deep breath in. Exhale, release, relax the hands down onto the thighs. Gopinda, the sustainer, the breath, our constant sustainer. Without the breath, there is no life. There is no you. But hands are going to come on top of the shoulders now, fingers in the front, thumbs in the back, elbows. We're going to try to stay at the same line. So you've got kind of a line between your elbows through the shoulders, and you're going to start to lean over to one side and come back to center, and then lean over to the other side. When you inhale to the left side is going to be your inhale. When you lean over to the right side and your right elbow comes down, you're going to exhale. So inhaling over to the left, exhaling over to the right. Nice deep breath still in and out through the nose. And just stretching these lungs. Lose up to like 40% of our breath capacity as we just naturally that occurs. You want to really take care of the lungs, stretching the torso, so that we can keep our breath capacity, our experience of life, powerful and present. You're doing great. You got 20 more seconds here. Good. Inhale the center, nice deep breath in, feel the heart lift, feel the shoulders relax down. And then exhale, drop those hands down again. Resting the hands in the lap or on the thighs. And coming back to your natural breath. Good. We got a few more exercises in this set. So if you need to adjust your seat, you can adjust your seat. We'll start to work with the nostrils now. The left hand can just stay relaxed on the knee or on the thigh. We're going to use the right thumb to block the right nostril, and we're going to use the pinky to block the left nostril. Okay. You're going to only inhale through your left nostril, and you're going to only exhale through your right nostril. So you inhale through left, exhale through right. Inhale through left, exhale through right. And we're going to do this pretty quickly. So it's inhale, exhale, Inhale, exhale. Pretty quick movement with the hands, only breathing in through the left nostril, only exhaling through the right. Good. Keep going. It's the way our nostrils like to be. In through the left, out through the right. Left nostril is a little more receptive, the right nostril a little more active, more clearing. But do one more breath to complete, exhaling through the right nostril, and then you can relax the hands down. And notice what's different going on. What's the flow of energy like right now? But just letting both of your hands relax down, however feels comfortable for you, on the knees or in the lap. Sit up nice and tall. I'm gonna open the mouth. If you can curl your tongue, you're gonna stick your tongue out and curl the tongue. If you can't curl the tongue, you're just gonna stick your tongue out, and you're gonna inhale through the tongue if it's curled, or over the tongue if you curl it. Inhaling. The exhale is going to be through the nostrils. So nice and slow with this breath. We just were quick, but now you can really start to slow down the breath. Inhaling slowly through or over the tongue, and exhaling through the nose. Sitali pranayama. Just cool down the body, calm the mind. Part of what I love about this particular breath exercise is, we're usually experiencing the sensations of the breath, but we get to actually taste the breath and really get to connect with the temperature of the breath. See if your focus can stay with the sensation, with the full experience of the breath, the taste, the temperature. Do one more breath like this, in through the curled tongue, and out through the nose. And after that last breath, turn to the natural flow of your breath, in and out through the nose. Last part of our series, bringing all of the fingertips together. So all fingertips come together, including the thumb tips. The index finger, middle finger, and ring finger are right next to each other. The pinky finger and the thumbs are pulling away from the rest of the fingers. You're gonna hold this in front of your chest, just holding it at about heart center. And then you're going to look through your index finger, middle finger, and ring finger to see where your pinky fingers touch. So you're sitting up nice and tall. You're kind of looking down the sides of your nose. You're looking through your fingers and you're seeing the point of contact of your two pinky fingers. You're gonna hold that focus as we do this 4-part breath practice. You're gonna inhale slowly and deeply through the nose. Through the mouth, exhale completely. Through the mouth, inhale deeply. And through the nose, exhale. We start that pattern again. Inhaling through the nose to start. Through the mouth, exhaling completely. Staying with the mouth, inhaling through the mouth. And then exhaling through the nose. Continuing that pattern by inhaling through the nose. And then for the next exhale and inhale, take it through the mouth. And then returning to the nose through for the last exhale. 4 parts. Nose, mouth, mouth, nose. So you can hold that focus looking at the pinkies and following the breath as it moves through the different channels. Continue and complete the cycle of breath that you're on. After you inhale through the nose, you can relax your hands and your eyes. Extend your legs. Come and relax on your back for the relaxation to integrate all this work you've done, all this new vitality, this new state of potent presence. resting here on your back. Take a nice deep breath into the belly, feeling the belly and the chest lift up. And exhale, squeeze all the breath out. Need to breathe deeply, to move the fingers, move the toes. Circling the hands on the wrists and circling the feet on the ankles. Take those arms up overhead and push through the heels and do a nice, big, full body stretch. Reach, 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 reach. And then bend the knees, bring one knee into the chest, and then bring the other knee into the chest and wrap the arms around the knees and give them a nice little squeeze. Keep that right knee in, extend the left leg long. With the left hand, guide the right knee up and over the body into a twist, reaching the right arm out to the side. Head can gently turn to the right. Good, inhaling yourself back to center, unwinding the spine. Extending the right leg, bringing the left knee in, and then bringing the left knee up and over. Or the right knee up and, no, left, yeah, left up and over to the right. Left arm out to the side, head gently turns to the left. On your next inhale, coming back to center. If you'd like to, you can bring the hands together and the feet together and rub the hands and rub the feet. And then wrap those arms around the knees and start to rock up and down the spine. Completing this detoxifying and clearing process by rocking along the spine and rocking yourself up. Great. Bring the hands together in prayer pose. And this is actually a breath exercise, but we're going to use it to just kind of close the practice. We'll chant 3 long set noms, a long set, punctuated by a short nom at the end. So take a deep breath in. Set. Nam. Set. Nam. Set. Nam. And closing your practice with gratitude, joy, and the commitment to share your light with the world. Sana. Okay. How are you guys feeling? Relaxed, energized? I will say you guys are welcome to unmute at any time at this point. I am still recording, so your voice will be recorded, but your visual won't be recorded. So if you don't mind having your voice recorded and you want to share, you're welcome to unmute and share what your experience was. If you have any questions about the practice, anything that we did, this practice will go onto YouTube, and I love this practice, this pranayama practice. Like, you're ever feeling like off, you're ever feeling like you want some more energy, you're ever feeling like you need to calm down, you need a little bit more space, some psychic space, some energetic space, this is a really good set. So this will be on YouTube and you can go through it again and again and again. But what are you guys noticing? What did you notice from the practice? What did you feel? Any breath practices that you were like, oh, I like that, or oh, that one was really hard?
Hello.
Jess?
I was so agitated today before the practice and starting with breath of fire. It was like the anger was like,
Mm-hmm.
and then by the time we got to um, this clearing our aura, then things started to really shift. And I would say by the nostril breathing, I was like, wow, I'm cleared. Um, and it's interesting. I've noticed this in your practice before when we were in Gyan chakra and moving left to right, the there's such a block in my heart region that's like if we kept doing that for like 10 more minutes, like I don't know what would happen. Like part of me is like go through it, like something's gonna release, but it's a very intense and um I'm like excited by it and scared of it. I
Sounds
don't
like
know what.
a
But does this happen to you before where you're breathing through a certain part of your body and it's like you can feel the block and
Oh, yes.
yeah,
Again
okay.
and then again. Yeah. And, it's always with that gentle edge. You know what I mean? We always approach it with that gentle edge of there is some fear there and there's also some excitement there. And there's a lot of potential there. It's a part of you. It's a part of you that you've actually been to before. You've already been there. You've already accessed that part of you. But for whatever reason, it had to be closed down or it had to be there. We put a little block, we put a little resistance there because a situation or event said, oh, can't be that part of you right now. And you just incorporated it into your sense of self. I mean, that's what our practice does. Especially the pranayama, it goes and it feeds those places, those physical blocks, those emotional blocks, and it gives us the potential to get the flow going again in that organ,
Mhm.
in that meridian system, and whatever it is. So that might be a really great practice for you. I mean, you can do that whenever you want, I don't know I mean, you could do it for 11 minutes. I think it would be more beneficial to say, hey, I'm going to do it for 2 to 3 minutes, do 3 minutes every day, do that for 3 minutes every day and see what happens. And then maybe after like a week or something or 2 weeks and you're like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for 11 minutes. Like, let me see what happens when I do it for 11 minutes. Just see what happens.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That was a great set. Thank you. I feel like new again.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Just to what you said about agitation, this is the time everyone I've been talking to doing privates and stuff, everyone's agitated. This is the time of the year that we're agitated because we have the heat of summer and then we start to come into the fall gets a little bit cooler and our bodies have been like heat, and heat is agitation. So it starts to release and it releases by being a little irritable, a little agitated. It's very normal to be irritated this time of year. You just want to start to change your habits and start to change your diet so that you're calming down your body and making sure that you're not adding to the irritation by choosing foods or choosing activities that create more irritation.
Thank you. And it's funny because you mentioned in the beginning, like I've been doing holotropic breathing in the morning and it's like, and I don't feel the release. So I was like, oh, perfect timing. Thank you for this set. I'll be doing it again on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Yeah, the holotropic breathing is amazing. It's really good at getting into the diaphragm, but it doesn't get into all the spaces that we just worked with.
Yeah, definitely.
And any practice, you do it forever, I mean, you get used to it and then we stop going into it's not new anymore. So you have a way of doing it and then you kind of just go on autopilot and you maybe don't get the same beginner mind potency out of it. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Thank you.
Thanks, Jess. Allison, you look like you're about to unmute, but I can't tell if that's true or not. No. I was going to say, Jess and Allison, you guys should meet each other because you're Allison, you're in New York too, right? Oh, you're not. Weren't you in New York? Why do I associate you with New York? You were.
Yes, I was at the beginning of the pandemic. Now I'm in Toronto.
Oh, you're in Toronto now.
Yeah,
Got
back in
it.
Toronto. Yeah. But thank you. That was a wonderful set. I was also quite agitated and I couldn't get onto Zoom and I was like, so I had something to work with. So thank you so much.
It's always so nice when we have something to work with, isn't it? I find I usually start to feel the practice before I do the practice, and especially if I get irritated before, I'm like, oh, great, this is going to be a great set. I'm really irritated and pissed off right now. I'm going to have a lot to process and move through. So, yeah. Any other comments about the practice? Or Kate, looks like you're about to reach for it.
Yeah, I feel like along with, the rebalancing of energy, it also feels like an internal massage almost, like the lungs and the breath and everything. And so it just felt really good in my body after having like a really long week of doing all these things and moving all this stuff and hiking and just all these things. It was just like, oh, like my body has like this new spaciousness now, and things are starting to feel a little bit more like worked out physically with the energy too.
Yes. Yeah. The practices in this course that I do, Breathe, it's like we're working with the lungs, right? We're focusing on the lungs, but to focus on the lungs, you end up focusing on the entire every organ in the body, basically. Because the breath, actually, we have our diaphragm here, right? And it's moving up and down. But for it to move up and down, if any of the organs are tight, if there's any tension in the organs all the way down to the pelvis, you're limiting your ability to breathe. So for us to have our full capacity of breath, we want all the organs to be soft and able to move around. So it's a whole massage for the inside, and then it's also detoxification, because the main way we're clearing things is through the breath. So you're massaging it, you're opening it up, and then you're getting it out of the body.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kate. Kate's in the middle of moving, so that's always needs some extra help in that process. At least I do. There's nothing more nerve-wracking for me than moving. I'm a very Vata person, so anytime my earth is disturbed, I'm like, ah, somebody pin me to the floor. Any questions about the course that's going to be coming up? So Breathe will start in 2 weeks. It's a course that I've been doing. I've basically been building it over. I started it in person before the pandemic, and then when the pandemic happened, I ran it like 6 or 7 times online. And this time I'm going to do a hybrid, which I'm excited about. So it'll be in person, but we'll also have an online option. And my focus is really embodied learning. I can give you a ton of information, blah, 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 right? I can give you a ton of information, but if that information is just in your head, and it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really do anything, especially in the times that we're in these days. You can sit on Instagram and, flick through, and you could learn a bunch of shit. But if you don't apply it to your life or embody the information, who cares? Like, honestly, it doesn't matter, right? It's like, you're going to forget about it. We are on information overload. So the way that I designed this course and the way that I share this course is so that the information is embodied in your experience. You have an experience of these different exercises. You have an experience of your breath, and that empowers you to take that with you wherever you go in life, so that you have, first of all, you feel empowered with your breath, and you have these tools that you can use throughout your entire life. My mom took my course like a while ago, and she messaged me and she was like, oh, I've been going back to this because there were some anxious things that were coming up in her life. And she was like, Anna, I'm so glad I have the practice and I can go back to it, and it really works. And so these are tools that you can develop and keep with you. Just having a relationship with the breath, it's amazing to me how many people take this course and I talk to them and they're like, I didn't know that I had no relationship with my breath until I started to develop a relationship with my breath. And when we're talking about having a relationship with self, the breath is really the most accessible and potent aspect of ourself for creating awareness, for creating change, for creating more vitality in our life, for creating more ease in our life. It really is this tool that we've been given, this amazing gift. It's the one thing that they're hopefully they can never sell us, right? They're selling us water, they're selling us the air, they're selling us all kinds of things. But the breath is like the one true gift that you got from the universe that nobody can. I mean, they could take it from you, but that would be them taking your life. That would, we're against that. But it's the one thing that you really have that is your gift from the universe that you get to take care of. And you get to have this entire journey this lifetime. It's this pure gift that comes to you. And the more you kind of care for this gift of the breath, you're going to see the quality of your life is going to expand and expand and expand. The quality of your breath and the quality of your life are just so intrinsically connected. So any questions that anybody has? If anybody needs to go, you're always welcome to head out. We'll talk. I'll stick around for another 10 minutes if you guys have any questions. Any questions about breath practices in general, about the breathe course that starts in a couple weeks? Bye, Jess. Good to see you. I have another person I want to send you that did the European thing for like a little while and just moved to New York as well. So I want to connect you guys.
Please and thank you. Mwah.
Take care.
Satnam.
Sanam.
Thank you, Pavanji.
You're so welcome, Allison.
Beautiful class. Great to see you. Bye, everyone.
Take care. Hey, Liv.
Thank you so much.
You're so
I feel
welcome.
great.
What'd you say?
I said I feel great. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Very comprehensive.
Great. So you're on, did you say you're on the East Coast now?
No, in Boulder.
Oh, you're in Boulder. Okay. Sometimes that you were out of town, but
Oh, I will be this coming weekend. Shh.
the only one.
Yeah.
Have fun with it, whatever you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
And take care.
Bye. You too. Thanks again.